Here's more wrestling news for November 13th, 2022. And we're starting this afternoon with WWE, as for over 2 years, the company released superstars in massive waves, with countless wrestlers losing their jobs with the company due to budget cuts at a time when WWE was boasting record profits. Some superstars released during this time have since returned, and now Kalisto may be the next on the list. The former Cruiserweight champion was cut by WWE in April 2021 after an 8-year tenure with the company, but Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reports that Kalisto was backstage at this weekend's NXT live events. Kalisto wasn't just in the neighborhood, as he was serving as a guest coach and produced the women's matches on the show. It was added that Fightful doesn't know if he'll be back anytime soon, but he would hardly be the first wrestler to transition into becoming a producer for the company. Kalisto has worked in AEW and AAA since his release, and there were reports that Impact had discussed bringing him in, but now it looks like his future will be with WWE despite his release last year. In July, WWE made headlines by signing Bellator's Valerie Loureda to a contract, marking the first Cuban-American woman to sign with the promotion. Given her success in MMA, many have been anticipating Loureda's in-ring debut, which finally happened this weekend. On Twitter, Loureda confirmed that she has had her first official match at an NXT live event in Orlando, and pictures implied that she wrestled in a mixed tag team match. It may not be exactly as glamorous as the high-profile WrestleMania match her fellow MMA fighter Ronda Rousey debuted in back in 2018, but at least Loureda has a match to her name now. Things are certainly looking promising for Valerie Loureda after her in-ring debut this week, and we'll have to keep an eye out for when she has her first match on TV. July also saw Vince McMahon retire after 4 decades running WWE due to allegations of misconduct with female employees. Both before and after these allegations came out, there had been stories of McMahon which made the former chairman out to be pretty evil. Plenty of ex-employees have spoken out against Vince McMahon, but when speaking to Dutch Mantel, Tom Pritchard had some words of defense for his former boss. He could be nice and he could be empathetic and feel. I mean, he's not an ogre, he's not a monster, he never was a monster. To me, he was a guy who was driven. He knew what he wanted, he knew what he expected of people, and you can't be the head of an organization as big as WWE and not have to be stern. A former WWF Tag Team Champion, fans will better know Dr. Tom as a coach, having trained some of wrestling's biggest ever stars. McMahon's days running the wrestling world are over, but whether fans like it or not, the wrestling world wouldn't be where it is today without Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Now, when you attend a WWE live event, you get the chance to see your favorite wrestlers up close, and if you're sat at ringside, you may even get a chance to interact with the superstars on the show. Fans are also given the opportunity to make their voices heard, but one fan crossed a line during a recent untelevised show. During a WWE live event in Peoria, Illinois, one fan decided to throw a drink at Scarlett, which is believed to have happened during a match between her husband, Karrion Kross, and Drew McIntyre. Security was immediately on the female fan, who was ejected from the show, and several spectators, believed to be her family, were thrown out as well. One person tweeted that her family looked embarrassed to be associated with her, and that nobody involved was allowed back in the building for the remainder of the show. There is no confirmation whether charges have been filed at this time, though typically, incidents like these result in fans being banned from future live events, and we hope this is the last time Scarlett has to deal with something like this. During this week's SmackDown, it was announced that Mustafa Ali will be competing in the SmackDown World Cup, despite being a Raw superstar. WWE didn't acknowledge that Ali is on a separate brand, and some have wondered whether this means the former Retribution leader has been moved to Friday nights. Well, that isn't what happened, as Fightful reports that Ali is still a member of Raw and is expected to work both brands during this 3-week tournament. On Twitter, Ali clarified that he'll be representing Pakistan in the tournament, and it's reported that he replaced Rey Mysterio in the tournament, but for unknown reasons. In recent weeks, Ali has been feuding with United States champion Seth Rollins, and while he'll be facing Ricochet in next week's first-round tournament match, don't expect Ali on SmackDown for longer. Over to Impact Wrestling, as Chelsea Green has been with the company for some time, but now her tenure has come to an end. During this week's episode, Green lost a match to fellow WWE alum Mickie James, and leaving the arena, Green told Deonna Purrazzo that she was going home. Now, this segment mimicked James' own comments from earlier this year when she announced her last rodeo tour. While James' comments would set up her current angle and impact, that isn't the case for Green, as PW Insider reports that this was done to write her off of TV and said to be her farewell segment for the company. This departure comes at an interesting time, as reports have stated that WWE are wanting to bring the Canadian back after she was released in April 2021. Green's first run in WWE did not go well, as her main roster debut saw her suffer a hand injury in her final match before being released, but with Impact no longer a factor, it appears that a return to WWE is inevitable. For 3 years, Cody Rhodes was one of the biggest names of AEW, but would often get a mixed at best response from the fans. Despite appearing to be a babyface, Rhodes' often cringe-inducing promos would garner the American Nightmare nuclear heat from fans, but that wasn't a bad thing. That's according to Cody himself, who, when asked by a fan on Twitter if the fan response made him leave AEW, said that the fans weren't a factor in his decision and that he was a heel in AEW. It's certainly interesting that Rhodes considers his AEW run to be as a heel, especially as at the time, he claimed he'd never turn heel, as he wanted to be a role model to his daughter. Either Cody was an expert of blending the roles of a heel and a face, or this is a bit of revisionist history on the part of the former TNT champion, now that he's no longer in AEW. Whatever the case, Cody is now in WWE and isn't just a face, but arguably the most beloved babyface, and we'll have to see what he does when he returns to the ring. And we're ending today with Cameo, as a ton of wrestlers use the website to earn extra money out of the ring. The popular personalized video messaging site allows fans to get greetings from their favorite wrestlers, but some stars of the squared circle are standing out. According to a study of October 2022 as done by Betting.com, Mick Foley has been named as the top wrestling Cameo earner, raking in close to $500,000 this year alone. Foley's earnings are over double of Bret Hart, who takes second place, while AEW's Matt Hardy has taken the bronze. While he may not be a household name like the top three, Danhausen has proven to be popular, taking fourth place and earning over $85,000 from just these videos. In total, the wrestling industry has earned $1.25 million on Cameo this year, far more than the likes of the NFL, baseball, or soccer. And with all this extra dough, it's certainly going to be a happy holidays for Mrs. Foley's baby boy. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.